Hey everybody. So, what was that? Well, that was a 1-4-5 chord progression, right? Now, you notice I didn't say CFG because I'm hoping that you've been watching and listening and understanding about numbering the chords within a key. So, I just want to today show you, well, the relevance or importance of that, I guess, of understanding, well, the relevance of the 1-4-5. Now, as you know, we look at 7 chords within a key. And the seventh one's always something a little strange. It's like a diminished chord or a seventh or some weird thing, okay? But 1 through 6, 3 of them are always major chords and 3 of them are always minor chords, right? And that varies from key to key because of the numbering system. So for example, the 1-4-5 that we were playing here was in the key of C. So C was the 1, F was the 4, and G was the 5, right? And that produced this very common sort of ba-da-da-da-da-da. If we play it differently, da-da-da, we got La Bamba, right? But we'll keep it simple and just go. Right? So there's our 1-4-5 in the key of C. All right, well, let's move that to the key of G. Sound familiar? Here's C. G. Okay? It's the same harmonic pattern. We just started higher or lower depending on what key we're in. But by playing the 1-4-5 in any key, it's going to all sound the same, just higher and lower. So for example, if we go into uncharted territory, right, and we start on E as the 1, right, and then we go E, F, G, A is the 4, and then the B. Let's hear what it sounds like. Or okay? It sounds the same, right? Because we're playing the same numbered chord, but in a different key. And that's the relationship of the numbers to the keys, right? Why we number the chords, so we can transpose. And that's what we just did. So if you've never done this before or have seen videos about it, maybe even mine, and you think, oh, I don't get it. I'll never be able to do that. Well, guess what? You just transposed that chord progression 3 times. Okay? If we go to D, same thing. The 1, 4, and 5 chord are going to produce the same harmonic balance, the same relationship, right? Now, that's I think the most important thing, and that's why the important relevance to that 1-4-5. The fact that they're major chords, they're not always open, right? In the chords that or the keys we play in as beginners, C, D, G, they're going to be open, right? I think even A we have open, all open. The 1-4-5 are all open. But as we get around the clock and we get into things like B and, we forget about flats, okay? So it's the key of E flat, okay? So now we're talking all bar chords, right? So we'd be talking E flat, A flat, B flat, right? So just sounds funky to it. Or it does to me anyways, because I'm not used to playing. We're all used to playing open major chords, right? But it's the same relationship. No matter what, you name a key, find out the 1, 4, and 5, play it the way I just did with the same strum, and it will sound the same. It'll just be higher or lower or flatter or sharper, right? Depending on, the key and the chords that make up that 1, 4, 5. So again, that's that's the major reason why I think I read somewhere about 60% of all music is written in the key of C. And it's because the fact that there are no sharps and flats to worry about. So we can all play open chords, right? Now, why do we need to know this? Well, you know what? We really don't. I mean, it's a good idea to be able to transpose on the fly. You may not always have access to Google or your phone or whatever. And, if you were to break down a chord, I don't want to get into this being a transposing video. We've got a video, and I recommend you watch it because it talks about how we number the chords and then just basically put them back together in the same order in different keys, and the numbers tell us what chords to play. But it's a good thing to know. All right, so here's one small example of how this kind of knowledge can help you. All right, now eventually you'll just know. The more you play and the more you get into this, you'll just know what chords belong in a certain key. But let's say, for example, you're out somewhere, you don't know anybody, and they're all playing, and you sit down and, oh, hey, welcome, yeah, join us at any time. We're playing in the key of C. And they're playing C, C, G, A minor, D, C. Kind of familiar, eh? I don't know. C, A minor, D. Kind of a catchy little thing, and they're going on. And something's not right because, well, it can't be the key of C. Because you know this information, here's how you know it's not the key of C. So they said it was the key of C. So if that was the case, the C would be the 1 chord, D would be 2, E, F, G accordingly, right? So we played a C, G, A minor, D. So in the key of C, 1, 2, C, D, E, F, G. So the C is 1, the G is 5, so they would both be major chords, right? And we played that as major chords. And then the A minor would be C, D, E, F, G would be the 6th chord, so it would be a minor, so that's right? So there was C, A minor, G, that's right? C, D, E, F, G is the 5th chord. It would be a major, and it was played as a major. And the D. Well, wait a minute. The D is the 2nd chord. C is 1, D is 2. That would be a minor chord, but we played it as a major. So this can't be the key of C, so he was wrong. Now, it doesn't always affect how you decide to solo. Like, let's say I didn't know he was wrong, right? And we played that chord progression. And I thought, oh, key of C, let's go and get a C. Make it work, all right? We could make that work. But let's find out what key that really was, and then we'll just play the proper key solo, right? We'll play the, solo the way it probably should be played. So we know, really you'll get to know this, but we know right now all we need to know in that what chords are minor and major. So let's start at the G, right? All right, so we have, if it was the key of G, G would be 1, A, B, C, D. So we'd have G would be our 1 chord, and C and D would be our 4 and 5 chords, and they're all major, 1, 4, 5. And we played G, C, and D as major chords, and then the A minor was the 2nd chord, G, A, and because it's not a 1, 4, 5, it's a minor. So technically, well, this song is in the key of G, or this progression, right? Even though C was the 1st chord played, right? So how you would say this to people would be, okay, so we're going to play a G, A, B, C. We're going to play a 4, right? 1, 2, 5 chord progression in the key of G. So that would be C, G, there's the 1, right? So that's 4, 1, 4, 1, 2, 5. 4, 1, 2, 5 in the key of G. And then we can solo off the G. Okay? So there's an example of when, if I didn't know and I didn't know any better, and I have been in that situation so many times, so it was just solo in C, Ray. Okay, I could probably get away with it, right? I could probably do the little solo off of C. Okay, I could have got away with it because we've seen in other videos here where we have played different leads using the different notes or the different chords as our go-to, right? As our home base chord or our home base note. So we're going to play off the C, or off the G or off the F. So we've done that before. We know it works, but it really is advantageous when you know the proper key. Then you can make decisions to stray from it based on knowing that G is the right key. Okay? So look, I hope this helps. I know these kind of things can be so tedious sometimes and very confusing. But really, remember, we just stick to that numbering system. And it's pretty simple when you look back on it, right? So this is just another tool that you have on your journey to making you a more complete guitar player. Now, you only may use this skill once a year, but that one time you use it, it can really make you look good, and it's just so self-satisfying knowing that you're doing it the right way, right? And based on your knowledge as a guitar player, it pointed you in the right direction. So, all right. Well, again, as always, welcome any comments, suggestions, all that kind of stuff. Send them away. Try to answer everybody, and or both. You can wait till Tuesdays if you have any questions. Do a live every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern North American time, and that's your chance to ask me questions and all that kind of stuff, all right? So thanks again, and we'll see you soon. And remember, just play your guitar.